Hi, this is Vera Cabrera, and this is second in a series of video tutorials on how to use Google Forms and Sheets. And this is a beginner level. In this video, I will introduce you to how to create a form and kind of give you an overview of what the form looks like. So let's get started. Okay, first of all, forms will live within your Google Drive, so you want to begin there in your Google Drive, and you would go to whatever folder you want your form to be housed in. If you highlight it first, it'll put it right in that folder. Otherwise, it will just file it in your Google Drive. So I know I want it to go in this Demo Forms folder, so I make sure that is red and the contents are indicated over here. And then when I click create, I'm going to choose form, and this is the symbol for the form. You'll see that in your docs list, as these over here are forms. And so I click form, and I'm in a shared folder, so this form will have the same sharing settings as my folder. You may or may not see that. And then I'm going to go ahead and open up the first thing I see is a place here where I can give my form a title. And so I'm going to call this one Creating Forms. And I can also choose from a kind of limited supply of themes, but there are some there nonetheless. And so if you want to choose a theme and fancy it up a little, you may. I typically go with something kind of plain, and then I add a logo or something to it if necessary. And then I click OK. And there I have my form, that quick. I want to show you a little bit about these tools at the top of the page though, so that you know what you're looking for. First of all, this over here in this corner, the Send Form button, at any time you click that, you will get a link to share your form right here, which you can copy and paste. You will also get embed code if you ever want to embed your form into a web page. Here gives you the code to do that, and I'm done there. And next over here in the corner we have File. File gives you some choices. One is you can add collaborators. Remember, Google Drive is wonderful for letting you collaborate with others, and so you could add a collaborator to work together with you on the form. Again, you can send the form. This will do the same thing as the Send Form button I just showed you. There's a place here to start a new document, to open an existing document, to rename this document, to make a copy of this document, to move this document to a folder, organize it, download it, embed it again, or email collaborators, and then finally to print it. Under the Edit button, there is an option to undo and redo, and there's a web clipboard. If you ever copy contents onto the web clipboard, it would be highlighted, as now it's not. The View gives you an option to view the live form, the same thing as this button will do. Just at any time you click either one of these, it will take you to the form in the format that a respondent would see it. Okay, and then the next thing under View is at any time you can change the header, and notice that this does the same thing. You have a theme option here, but at any time you can change the theme. Compact controls, and then full screen. You can go full screen at any time. The Insert button gives you the items that you can insert, all the choices, and you can get that same thing by selecting here. It'll also give you the items. They're divided by basic, advanced, and layered. And the next tab is Responses. When you created your Google form, it automatically created a spreadsheet that housed the responses. The spreadsheet has the same name as the form, except for it has the name Responses after it. As of now, I have no answers in my form, and no questions either for that matter. But at any time you want to see the responses, you can either just click View Responses here, or you can click the Responses tab, and you can go down here and click View Responses here. You can also make it not accept responses. Maybe you've given the kids a deadline and you don't want them to submit anymore. You can click this button, and the form will be turned off so that it cannot feed information into your spreadsheet anymore. And then you can change that by changing it here, and now it's open to responses again. So this is a way you can control timing. Later, when we get some data, I'll show you summary of responses. It gives you a little pie graph of your data. You can also unlink the form at any time if you need to work on the spreadsheet, or for some reason don't want people to respond for a few minutes. And this is a more advanced feature, the pre-filled URL we'll deal with in a little later video. And then also you can, if you want to reuse forms, you can delete all the responses and then just reuse the form, maybe the next quarter, the next semester, next year, that kind of thing. Okay, then the next tab is Tools, and these are advanced features that we won't be dealing with in this beginner series. and then there is a help button, the forms help. All of the Google tutorials are excellent, so anytime you do need help, this is a good place to go. You can also report issues, see what's new. Any kind of time they add new features, they'll feature those there. And then there's some keyboard shortcuts you can use. So underneath there, most of these we've seen in other places, but here are the edit tools, the undo and redo. Changing your theme can be done here. Viewing the responses can be done here. To close it to accepting responses can be done here, and then viewing the live form here. And so that's all there is to creating your form. In the next video, I will demonstrate the different types of items and how to add each one of those.